My political panel's back, Chris Hahn and Matt Schlapp. All right, guys, one thing I want to make clear is that there was a video of a plane that was not the video of the transfer of money. Chris, you were right about that. Now, good. He's smiling. He's very happy. I'm very happy, Chris.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Oh, we need to be fair and honorable here. All right, let's talk about third parties, guys. You know, now we've got all this attention on the third party. You've got Gary Johnson, that weed-smoking guy, and Bill Weld, former governor of Massachusetts. And then you've got this Jill Stein. Now, when the candidates were tighter, and, you know, 10 points, we all know that's going to change. It's August, and you know, if Trump stays on message and Hillary stops lying, things might get better. But I think things are going to get worse for Hillary once this thing starts to penetrate the electorate. But what impact does it have, one way or the other, the third party? Chris.
Well, if you're asking me,
Chris.
No. Yeah, you know, if you're asking me, I think they take away equally from both of them. But I think right now they're at their high water mark, and I think their impact will dissipate throughout the election. Now, in a close swing state, it could make the difference. So it is something to watch. But it seems right now that even Gary Johnson kind of pulls a little bit more from Donald Trump than Hillary Clinton, but he does pull from Hillary Clinton, and Jill Stein pulls directly from Hillary.
Okay. And Matt, your take?
Yeah, well, you just got to look at the actual polls and the actual numbers. Jill Stein actually pulls from Hillary because she has a Bernie Sanders message, and those voters are having trouble still attaching themselves to Hillary. We're not talking about that enough. And actually, Gary Johnson's signature issue is dope, is drug legalization, and Donald Trump's pretty strong about the fact that he thinks drugs have a negative influence on society. So actually, if you look at all the polls, when all four candidates are there, Judge, Hillary Clinton always drops by more than a couple of points.
Well, yeah, and my sense is with Jill is the woman thing, and Donald is very, Donald doesn't even drink. I mean, you know, and
he doesn't drink.
That's not, it seems to me that the stronger they get, that there's going to be more concern for, there's going to be more movement toward the third party, and there's more attention for them, clearly. You know, let's talk about the ransom. Are you bothered at all by what happened, Chris, with that, you know, the euros and the francs and the unmarked plane going over to Iran?
Well, we don't have a banking relationship with Iran, so we had to give them cash from other countries to make that deal. So we were in a situation where they had bought weapons from us in the 1970s. The International Court at The Hague was working through this, and it was going to happen. And now, look, Judge, I will be clear. I think that when there's a deal being made on a variety of subjects, everything could be put on the table, and perhaps that was too. But I don't know for sure that it was. And look, it looks fishy. If it was ransom, I have a problem with it. But I do think it was part of a bigger deal to settle that case, along with a lot of other grievances with Iran, and that's what happens in negotiations.
But go ahead, Matt. What was your take on that?
It's just, look, it's criminal. It's so sad. It is destructive of everything we stand for as a society when we tell these folks that if you take one of our people hostages, that you won't be able to blackmail us and ransom us. And Obama just makes us look weaker. Look, I root for the president in these circumstances, but he makes us look weaker. The next time Americans are taken hostage, what are we going to say to that? The fact is this was criminal. Someone owes Ollie North and all those people who were dragged through the mud for what happened during the Reagan administration. And let me finish.
All they did was send arms for hostages.
Let me finish. An apology. And the fact is this, which is, in these situations, the president has nothing but his integrity, and he's lost it on this because he's lying about what this actually was.
You know what bothers me here, guys? You know, on the one hand, you know, the optics are bad. Clearly, the optics are bad. Chris, you're right about the fact that this was something that came out of The Hague, that there was that $400 million, you know, for the arms and all that. But what bothers me is that, you know, if this really was a ransom, and I truly believe that it was, and you know, you can't convince me otherwise, but the White House, the same White House that bartered for those Taliban guys in Gitmo for that deserter dirtbag Mo Bergdahl, okay, and went around Congress when they shouldn't have. You know, this same White House had threatened the families of those guys who had their heads cut off that they could not negotiate for their loved ones or they'd be prosecuted. And that's what really bothers me. It's not just that they're making all Americans vulnerable, but that they also threatened those families who are trying to negotiate for a return of their loved ones. You know, they got the double standard does not work.
But Judge, there was a broad multi-party international deal to stop Iran from getting a nuclear bomb. A lot of things were thrown into that deal, not just American things, but things from around the world, and including this piece in The Hague. And there was screaming and yelling by Matt and others when this was going on about the hostages. Looks
it's
like
one
they
of the
got
reasons
hostages.
Trump's going to
All
win.
right, guys, gotta go. Bench slap, Chris.
You gotta
Hahn.
get that in.
Thanks so much. And next, he's a Democratic strategist, but he says Donald Trump is the man for president. So why isn't he backing Hillary? I'll ask him next.